Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world filled with noise. A world where emotions are volatile, relationships are fragile, and distractions are many. In the midst of all this chaos, there's one thing that we must all learn to master: our reactions. Reactions are a response triggered by external circumstances, often impulsive and driven by emotion. But let me tell you, this true strength is not found in your ability to react. It is found in your ability to remain calm, centered, and silent when the world tries to pull you into its storm. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, silence can be your most effective tool. It speaks volumes without uttering a single word. It shows you are not moved by the noise around you. It tells the world, I am in control of myself. When we react, we lose control. We allow others to dictate our emotional state, and in doing so, we surrender our power. Emotional independence is key to living a life of purpose. Don't give away your peace so easily. Protect your peace. It is sacred. If someone is trying to disturb your peace, it's time to step away. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, what if I just want to defend myself? What if I want to prove them wrong? Let me tell you, cutting someone off is not about revenge. It's not about showing them they were wrong. It's about preserving your own peace, your own space, and your own well-being. You do not have to respond to every attack, every criticism, every misunderstanding. Not every battle is yours to fight. Wisdom comes when you understand that you don't have to fight. Every battle, some battles are better left unwaged. Sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away. This requires discernment. You must learn to discern who is worthy of your time, your energy, and your attention. Not everyone in your life is there to build you up. Some will only seek to tear you down, to drain you, to distract you from your purpose. You must recognize these people and cut them off, not in anger, but in peace. Your time is your most precious resource. Every minute you spend in negativity, every second you waste on reactions, takes away from the time you can spend growing, creating, and fulfilling your purpose. Guard your time. Protect your future. Choose wisely who you allow into your life. And let me remind you, setting boundaries is not selfish, it is self-respect. When you cut off negativity, when you refuse to react, you are saying to the world, I value my peace, I value my time, and I value my purpose. You are choosing to live a life of integrity, clarity, and growth. So today I urge you, don't react. Cut them off silently. Preserve your peace. Choose your battles wisely. Protect your time. And above all, never allow anyone to steal your power. Because when you stop reacting, you start living. Self-control is one of the most profound and powerful qualities a person can possess. It is not simply the ability to refrain from certain behaviors or impulses. It is the ability to govern oneself in the face of challenges, temptations, and adversities. Self-control is the foundation upon which we build a life of purpose, discipline, and intentionality. Without it, we are like ships without rudders, tossed around by every wind of emotion, circumstance, or desire. It is only through self-control that we can rise above the noise of life, making decisions not from a place of reaction, but from a place of wisdom and clarity. When we lack self-control, we give up our power. Every time we react impulsively, we allow external circumstances to dictate our internal state. Our emotions begin to control us rather than the other way around. This is a dangerous place to be, because when we allow our emotions to rule, we often act in ways that are inconsistent with our true values and purpose. We find ourselves saying things we don't mean, making decisions we regret, or engaging in behaviors that take us further from our goals. In those moments, we are not in control of our lives, our impulses are. The ability to control our responses, especially in the face of adversity, is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful, the calm from the chaotic. In challenging situations, self-control becomes the tool that allows us to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting mindlessly. This ability to pause, to create space between stimulus and response, is what gives us the power to choose how we will engage with the world around us. It is not always the loudest voice or the most aggressive action that wins the battle. Often it is the one who remains calm, centered, and deliberate in their actions. Self-control also brings freedom. It might sound paradoxical, But when we learn to control our impulses, we become free from the chains of desire, anger, or frustration. Instead of being slaves to the moment, we gain the power to direct our energy where it matters most. We stop being prisoners of our emotions and become masters of our own actions. True freedom is not found in doing whatever we feel like doing in the moment. It is found in the ability to act according to our higher values, to make choices based on our long-term vision rather than short-term gratification. In life, there will always be moments of temptation, frustration, or provocation. It's not a matter of if these moments will come, but when. And in those moments, the choice is ours. Will we allow our impulses to dictate our actions, or will we rise above and respond with purpose? The power of self-control lies in the ability to choose wisely in the heat of the moment, to act in a way that aligns with our principles and not with our fleeting emotions. When we cultivate self-control, we create a life of intentionality, a life that is lived on our terms rather than being shaped by the unpredictable forces around U.S. silence, though often undervalued in a world that thrives on noise. Is one of the most potent responses we can have in challenging situations. In an era where people constantly feel the need to express their opinions, defend their positions, or assert their power, silence carries a weight that words cannot match. There is profound strength in remaining silent, not as a form of avoidance, but as a conscious choice to preserve your peace, maintain your dignity, and protect your energy. Silence communicates a message that is often more powerful and more meaningful than any words could convey. When faced with conflict or criticism, many people instinctively feel the need to react. It may be a knee-jerk response to defend oneself, to correct a misunderstanding, or to assert one's viewpoint. However, in those moments, silence can be a far more impactful response. Instead of adding fuel to the fire, silence allows the situation to dissipate naturally. It offers a space for clarity, where we can gather our thoughts, understand our emotions, and decide how best to respond, not out of anger or frustration, but from a place of wisdom. Silence allows us to observe the situation without becoming consumed by it, to see the bigger picture instead of getting caught in the small details that often cloud our judgment. Silence also reveals a deep sense of self-mastery. In a world where people often seek validation through words, the one who remains silent demonstrates that they do not need to prove themselves or justify their actions to others. They understand that their value is not dependent on the opinions of those around them. Silence allows us to hold our ground without needing to explain ourselves, showing that our self-worth is not tied to external approval or recognition. It is a powerful declaration of self-confidence and self-respect, an acknowledgement that we do not need to react to every situation or to every person that tries to provoke us. Furthermore, silence gives us control over our emotions. When we respond in the heat of the moment, our words are often impulsive, fueled by anger, frustration, or hurt. These emotions can cloud our judgment and lead to responses we later regret. Silence, on the other hand, gives us the time and space to process our emotions, to step back and view the situation with a clear mind. It is an act of emotional intelligence, one that helps us to respond in a measured and thoughtful way, rather than reacting based on a temporary surge of emotion. This ability to control our impulses is a hallmark of emotional maturity, and silence is one of the best tools we have to develop it. In the dynamics of relationships, silence can be a powerful form of communication. It speaks volumes without uttering a word, conveying a message that words alone cannot fully express. In moments of tension, silence can diffuse hostility, giving both parties time to reflect and reconsider their positions. It can also communicate boundaries, signaling that certain behaviors or words are unacceptable and will not be engaged with. In these instances, silence becomes a tool of self-preservation and respect, not just for oneself, but also for the relationship. It teaches us that we do not need to fight every battle or defend every slight. Sometimes the most respectful and mature response is to simply say nothing at all. In some of the most difficult moments, when we are faced with judgment, insult, or unprovoked criticism, silence has the power to disarm. People who are bent on provoking others often seek a reaction, any reaction, as a way to assert their power or to feel validated. When we refuse to react, when we choose silence over confrontation, we take away their power. We become the one who controls the interaction, not by fighting back, but by not engaging at all. Silence in this context is a form of strength. It shows that we are not easily rattled, that we do not need to engage in petty exchanges, and that we have the ability to rise above the fray. Ultimately, silence allows us to protect our inner peace. It creates space between external stimuli and our internal responses, giving us the time to evaluate the situation and decide whether it is worth our energy or attention. By mastering the art of silence, we become less vulnerable to the chaos around us. We no longer feel compelled to react to every external force, because we understand that true power comes from within, not from reacting to the world around us. In silence, we find strength, clarity, and control. Emotional independence is the foundation of personal strength and resilience. It is the ability to manage your emotions without being controlled by the circumstances around you or the behavior of others. When you are emotionally independent, you do not rely on external validation, approval, or acknowledgement to feel good about yourself. You understand that your emotions are yours to govern, and no one else has the power to dictate how you feel. This level of autonomy over your emotional state allows you to move through life with greater peace and confidence, free from the emotional turbulence that often arises from reacting to external events. Many people mistakenly believe that their happiness or emotional well-being is contingent upon other people or external situations. We often place the responsibility for how we feel in the hands of others, whether it's expecting love, recognition, or support from those around us, or relying on external success to validate our worth. But this is a fragile way of living. The moment someone doesn't behave the way we expect, or the situation doesn't unfold as we had hoped, we feel betrayed, disappointed, or hurt. Our happiness becomes unpredictable, dependent on something we cannot always control. Emotional independence teaches us that our emotions should not be determined by someone else's actions, but by how we choose to respond to the world. The beauty of emotional independence lies in its power to free us from the emotional highs and lows that come with seeking validation from others. It allows us to create a stable inner world, one that is not tossed around by every wind of external influence. When we are emotionally independent, we are not desperate for someone's approval or love. We recognize that we are enough as we are. We no longer seek to fill the emptiness within by trying to gain affirmation from the outside world. Instead, we learn to validate ourselves, to find satisfaction in our own company, and to nurture our own sense of worth. This self-sufficiency is liberating, because it removes the anxiety and uncertainty that often comes with depending on others for our emotional stability. Emotional independence also gives us the freedom to make decisions that align with our true values and desires, rather than being influenced by the emotions or opinions of others. When we are not emotionally dependent, we can set boundaries more effectively, knowing that our decisions are based on our own beliefs and principles, not on the fear of upsetting someone else or the need to gain their approval. We are able to navigate relationships and situations with clarity, because we are no longer caught up in emotional games or manipulations. We do what is right for us, not what is expected by others. In relationships, emotional independence does not mean detachment or isolation. Rather, it means that we approach relationships from a place of wholeness, where we do not rely on others to fulfill us emotionally. We enter relationships knowing that while we may love and care for others, our emotional well-being is not dependent on them. This creates healthier, more balanced relationships where we give and receive love freely, without strings attached or extra expectations of how the other person should behave in order to make us feel secure. We can love without clinging, care without demanding, and engage without losing ourselves in the process. Another important aspect of emotional independence is the ability to respond thoughtfully to difficult situations. Life is full of challenges, misunderstandings, disappointments, conflicts, and setbacks. Without emotional independence, we are more likely to react impulsively to these challenges, letting our emotions dictate our actions. But with emotional independence, we develop the ability to pause, reflect, and choose how to respond with wisdom rather than acting out of frustration, anger, or fear. This level of emotional maturity allows us to face adversity with grace and composure, knowing that we can handle whatever comes our way without letting it negatively affect our emotional state. Moreover, emotional independence empowers us to take responsibility for our feelings. Instead of blaming others for making us upset, hurt, or angry, we recognize that our emotional responses are within our control. We understand that while we cannot control what others do, we have the power to choose how we react to them. By taking ownership of our emotions, we stop giving away our power to external circumstances. We stop letting others' actions dictate how we feel and instead take charge of our emotional life. In summary, emotional independence is the ability to navigate life with a sense of inner balance, knowing that your emotional well-being is not contingent on others. It allows you to be free from the emotional chaos that often comes from seeking approval or reacting to the actions of others. It creates space for personal growth, healthier relationships, and thoughtful responses to the challenges of life. When you master emotional independence, you are no longer controlled by the external world. Instead, you learn to control your inner world, creating a life that is peaceful, empowered, and deeply fulfilling. Emotional independence is the foundation of personal strength and resilience. It is the ability to manage your emotions without being controlled by the circumstances around you or the behavior of others. When you are emotionally independent, you do not rely on external validation, approval, or acknowledgement to feel good about yourself. You understand that your emotions are yours to govern, and no one else has the power to dictate how you feel. This level of autonomy over your emotional state allows you to move through life with greater peace and confidence, free from the emotional turbulence that often arises from reacting to external events. Many people mistakenly believe that their happiness or emotional well-being is contingent upon other people or external situations. We often place the responsibility for how we feel in the hands of others, whether it's expecting love, recognition, or support from those around us, or relying on external success to validate our worth. But this is a fragile way of living. The moment someone doesn't behave the way we expect, or the situation doesn't unfold as we had hoped, we feel betrayed, disappointed, or hurt. Our happiness becomes unpredictable, dependent on something we cannot always control. Emotional independence teaches us that our emotions should not be determined by someone else's actions, but by how we choose to respond to the world. The beauty of emotional independence lies in its power to free us from the emotional highs and lows that come with seeking validation from others. It allows us to create a stable inner world, one that is not tossed around by every wind of external influence. When we are emotionally independent, we are not desperate for someone's approval or love. We recognize that we are enough as we are. We no longer seek to fill the emptiness within by trying to gain affirmation from the outside world. Instead, we learn to validate ourselves, to find satisfaction in our own company, and to nurture our own sense of worth. This self-sufficiency is liberating because it removes the anxiety and uncertainty that often comes with depending on others for our emotional stability. Emotional independence also gives us the freedom to make decisions that align with our true values and desires, rather than being influenced by the emotions or opinions of others. When we are not emotionally dependent, we can set boundaries more effectively, knowing that our decisions are based on our own beliefs and principles, not on the fear of upsetting someone else or the need to gain their approval. We are able to navigate relationships and situations with clarity, because we are no longer caught up in emotional games or manipulations. We do what is right for us, not what is expected by others. In relationships, emotional independence does not mean detachment or isolation. Rather, it means that we approach relationships from a place of wholeness, where we do not rely on others to fulfill us emotionally. We enter relationships knowing that while we may love and care for others, our emotional well-being is not dependent on them. This creates healthier, more balanced relationships where we give and receive love freely, without strings attached or expectations of how the other person should behave in order to make us feel secure. We can love without clinging, care without demanding, and engage without losing ourselves in the process. Another important aspect of emotional independence is the ability to respond thoughtfully to difficult situations. Life is full of challenges, misunderstandings, disappointments, conflicts, and setbacks. Without emotional independence, we are more likely to react impulsively to these challenges, letting our emotions dictate our actions. But with emotional independence, we develop the ability to pause, reflect, and choose how to respond with wisdom, rather than acting out of frustration, anger. This level of emotional maturity allows us to face adversity with grace and composure, knowing that we can handle whatever comes our way without letting it negatively affect our emotional state. Moreover, emotional independence empowers us to take responsibility for our feelings. Instead of blaming others for making us upset, hurt, or angry, we recognize that our emotional responses are within our control. We understand that while we cannot control what others do, we have the power to choose how we react to them. By taking ownership of our emotions, we stop giving away our power to external circumstances. We stop letting others' actions dictate how we feel and instead take charge of our emotional life. In summary, emotional independence is the ability to navigate life with a sense of inner balance, knowing that your emotional well-being is not contingent on others. It allows you to be free from the emotional chaos that often comes from seeking approval or reacting to the actions of others. It creates space for personal growth, healthier relationships, and thoughtful responses to the challenges of life. When you master emotional independence, you are no longer controlled by the external world. Instead, you learn to control your inner world, creating a life that is peaceful, empowered, and deeply fulfilling. Protecting your peace is one of the most vital commitments you can make to yourself. In a world filled with chaos, distractions, and negativity, your peace is a sacred resource that must be carefully guarded. Peace is not simply the absence of conflict, but the presence of harmony and balance within your own soul. It is the space where you feel grounded, centered, and in control of your emotions, thoughts, and actions. When you protect your peace, you are making a conscious decision to create and preserve an environment both internally and externally that supports your well-being, growth, and tranquility. Many people, whether knowingly or unknowingly, allow the pressures and turbulence of life to compromise their peace. They are constantly reacting to the demands of the world around them, whether it's the expectations of others, the stresses of work, or the noise of societal pressures. In these moments, it becomes easy to lose sight of what truly matters, your inner peace. The problem arises when we place more importance on external circumstances, trying to control things that are outside our power, rather than focusing on what we can control, our response and our inner state. One of the first steps in protecting your peace is learning to set boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, but clear guidelines that define what is acceptable in your life and what is not. They serve as a shield that guards your energy, time, and emotional well-being. When you allow others to overstep these boundaries, whether it's a colleague, a friend, or even a family member, you risk draining yourself emotionally, mentally, and physically. By setting boundaries, you are affirming that you value your peace and that you are not willing to compromise it for anyone or anything. You are teaching others how to treat you, and in doing so, you create a healthier environment where you can thrive. Protecting your peace also requires a conscious effort to distance yourself from toxic people and situations. Not everyone you encounter in life will add value to your journey. Some will be critical, manipulative, or draining, and these individuals can slowly erode your sense of peace if you allow them to occupy too much of your time and energy. It is essential to recognize when someone or something is no longer contributing positively to your life and to make the decision to let go. This does not mean you must cut people out of your life permanently, but it does mean you must learn when to step back or limit your engagement with them. Sometimes protecting your peace means distancing yourself from negative influences that continuously disturb your inner calm. Another crucial element of protecting your peace is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment, paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. When you live mindfully, you become aware of how external events or situations are impacting your emotions. This awareness enables you to take control of your reactions before they spiral into stress, frustration, or anxiety. Mindfulness allows you to respond to challenges with a clear mind, making decisions based on what is best for you, rather than being driven by emotional impulses. In moments of stress or conflict, mindfulness serves as a grounding tool, helping you maintain your peace by staying centered and focused. Protecting your peace also involves letting go of things beyond your control. Life is full of uncertainties and situations that are out of our hands, whether it's the actions of others, the course of events, or the future itself. Often we waste valuable time and energy trying to control the uncontrollable, only to find that it leads to frustration and unrest. The key to protecting your peace is acceptance. Accept that there are things you cannot change and focus instead on how you choose to respond to them. When you learn to surrender the need for control over everything, you open yourself up to greater peace and freedom. By focusing on your own actions and maintaining a positive solution-oriented mindset, you can navigate life's challenges without losing your peace. Another powerful way to protect your peace is by nurturing your emotional well-being. Taking care of your mental and emotional health is not a luxury, it is a necessity for living a peaceful life. This involves investing time in activities that bring you joy, engaging in practices that help you relax and recharge, and surrounding yourself with positivity. Whether it's reading, exercising, meditating, or simply spending time in nature, make time for the things that restore your energy and bring you a sense of calm. Self-care is not selfish, it is an essential part of maintaining your peace. When you take care of yourself, you create a strong foundation of emotional resilience that allows you to withstand life's storms with grace and strength. Furthermore, protecting your peace means being intentional about where you direct your focus. In today's world, there are endless sources of distraction and negativity, news cycles, social media, and the opinions of others. These things can easily pull you out of balance, leaving you feeling anxious, fearful, or overwhelmed. It is vital to guard your focus and direct it toward what nurtures your peace. This may mean limiting your exposure to negative influences or practicing discernment when it comes to what you allow into your mind. Choose to focus on things that inspire, uplift, and align with your values. When you protect your focus, you protect your peace because what you focus on grows. Ultimately, protecting your peace is about recognizing your worth and making conscious choices that honor your well-being. It's about taking control of your life, setting boundaries, letting go of negativity, and cultivating a peaceful state of mind. When you protect your peace, you allow yourself to be the best version of yourself, calm, centered, and empowered to face whatever comes your way. It is not always easy, but it is always worth it. By choosing peace, you are choosing to live a life of purpose, balance, and inner strength. Cutting someone off is often misunderstood. Many view it as an act of vengeance, a way to get back at someone who has hurt or wronged them. But in truth, cutting someone off is not about revenge, it's about self-preservation, self-respect, and maintaining your peace. It's not about trying to make a point or teaching someone a lesson. Rather, it is about recognizing the value of your own well-being and choosing to remove yourself from situations or relationships that no longer serve you positively. When we allow others to remain in our lives who are toxic, draining, or disrespectful, we slowly give up pieces of ourselves. Every time we tolerate negative behavior, we compromise our mental, emotional, and sometimes even physical health. Cutting someone off is not about being spiteful or seeking payback. It is an act of self-care. It is a recognition that you deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, support you, and contribute positively to your life. If a relationship, whether personal or professional, has become a source of harm, choosing to distance yourself is an act of strength, not weakness. Revenge comes from a place of anger and hurt. It seeks to hurt the other person in return, perpetuating a cycle of negativity and bitterness. But when you cut someone off, you are not seeking to harm them. You are simply choosing to no longer engage in a relationship that is damaging to you. Cutting ties is not about causing pain. It's about protecting yourself from further harm. It's not about trying to make someone feel bad or to prove that they were wrong. It's about realizing that you no longer need to endure negativity, disrespect, or mistreatment. You recognize that your peace is too valuable to be sacrificed for the sake of someone else's behavior. This decision comes from a place of maturity, understanding that there are people who may be part of your past but should not be part of your future. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. And some people's presence can hold you back from your own personal growth and happiness. Cutting someone off means you are making space for people who truly support and value you, and for experiences that align with your values and your purpose. It's about recognizing when a chapter has ended without harboring ill will toward the person involved. In doing so, you free yourself from the emotional weight of the relationship and create room for more positive, fulfilling connections. Moreover, for cutting someone off is a way to set boundaries and protect your energy. There are individuals who knowingly or unknowingly drain us. They may constantly demand your time, attention, or emotional support without reciprocating. They might manipulate, criticize, or undermine you, leaving you exhausted and depleted. Staying connected to people who continuously take from you without giving back is a form of self-sabotage. Cutting them off is a clear declaration that you refuse to accept relationships that drain your spirit. It says that you are not willing to sacrifice your happiness and peace for the comfort or convenience of someone else. It is an empowering choice that takes back control of your life and emotional well-being. In cutting off others, there is also the opportunity for growth. Sometimes relationships that have become toxic can prevent us from reaching our full potential. Whether through emotional manipulation, negativity, or constant drama, these individuals keep us stuck in patterns that prevent us from evolving. Cutting ties allows you to step away from these limiting dynamics, creating space for growth and self-discovery. You become more open to opportunities, to new relationships, and to new ways of thinking. By choosing to disconnect from what no longer serves you, you create a clear path forward toward the life you are meant to live. While cutting someone off may initially feel painful or difficult, especially if you have a deep history with that person, it is important to remember that it is not a permanent decision made in haste. It is a healthy boundary that in time allows healing to take place. Sometimes the best way to heal from a toxic relationship is simply by removing it from your life entirely. Over time, you will come to realize that this decision was not made out of revenge or anger, but out of a deep understanding that you deserve more than what the relationship was offering. You will find that without the drain of negativity or the weight of unresolved conflict, you can breathe more easily, think more clearly, and move forward with greater peace and purpose. Ultimately, cutting someone off is about choosing yourself. It's about recognizing your worth and choosing to surround yourself with people who respect and appreciate you. It is about knowing that your emotional well-being is worth more than any relationship or connection that does not serve your highest good. It's not about seeking to harm anyone. It's about choosing not to harm yourself by staying in a situation that causes you pain. Cutting off someone is not an act of revenge. It is an act of liberation, liberation from toxicity, liberation from negativity, and liberation to live a life that aligns with your values, your peace, and your purpose. Wisdom in choosing your battles is one of the most valuable qualities you can cultivate. Life is filled with countless opportunities for conflict, big and small, yet not every conflict is worth engaging in. The key to living a peaceful and fulfilling life is recognizing that your time, energy, and emotional resources are finite, and you must be intentional about where you direct them. Not all battles need to be fought, and not all disagreements require your involvement. Understanding when to engage and when to step back is a sign of emotional intelligence, maturity, and self-awareness. Every battle, whether personal, professional, or relational, requires a cost. The question you must ask yourself is the cost worth it? Too often people engage in conflicts without considering the long-term consequences of time lost, of energy drained, and of relationships damaged. Sometimes the price of winning a battle is greater than the reward. Engaging in conflict can lead to unnecessary stress, resentment, or even the destruction of relationships that could otherwise be nurtured. When you wisely choose your battles, you are preserving your peace and protecting your emotional well-being from the harm that unresolved conflict can cause. Part of the wisdom in choosing battles lies in knowing what truly matters to you and what aligns with your values. Not every disagreement or challenge demands your immediate attention or reaction. Some issues are insignificant in the grand scheme of your life and do not deserve the energy you would invest in them. This discernment is a gift that allows you to focus on the things that align with your deeper goals and vision. When you choose to engage in conflicts that align with your values, you not only stand firm in your beliefs, but also ensure that you are fighting for what truly matters, not for fleeting issues that will fade with time. Another crucial aspect of choosing your battles is recognizing that not every conflict can or should be won. There are times when you must accept that some things are beyond your control. People are entitled to their own perspectives, and sometimes engaging in a battle of wills is not productive. Trying to force someone to see things your way or to win an argument at all costs often leads to frustration, bitterness, and emotional exhaustion. There is wisdom in knowing when to let go, when to walk away, and when to allow space for differing opinions without taking them personally. In these moments, the wisest decision is to preserve your peace rather than expend your energy on something that will not bring you closer to your goals or your happiness. Choosing your battles also involves being strategic. Not every fight requires a direct confrontation. And sometimes the best way to win a battle is not to engage in it at all. There is great strength in silence, patience, and understanding. Sometimes stepping back from a situation gives you the perspective you need to see it more clearly. It allows you to weigh the pros and cons of engaging and whether the outcome is worth the emotional or relational cost. A wise person knows that often the most effective way to handle conflict is to take a step back, gather information, and make a decision from a place of calm rather than reacting in the heat of the moment. This approach not only preserves your peace, but often leads to more favorable outcomes. Another aspect of wisdom in choosing your battles is understanding the role of timing. Timing can make all the difference in how a conflict unfolds. There are moments when a situation demands immediate attention, and then there are times when waiting for the right moment to speak or act can be more effective. Engaging in a conflict when emotions are high or when the situation is volatile may escalate things unnecessarily. Sometimes the most strategic move is to allow time for the intensity of the moment to pass, allowing all parties involved to approach the issue with more clarity, patience, and reason. Choosing your battles also involves recognizing the value of peace in your life. In the pursuit of being right or winning every argument, people often overlook the importance of peace and harmony. Not every disagreement is worth disturbing your inner peace or your relationships. Some battles are not worth the emotional toll they take, and the cost of winning may be more than you are willing to pay. When you choose peace over conflict, you prioritize your well-being, the well-being of others, and the overall health of your relationships. This is not about being passive or avoiding confrontation, but rather about choosing to focus on what brings you peace and joy instead of what creates discord. Furthermore, wisdom in choosing your battles is about emotional maturity. A person who is emotionally mature understands that there are moments when engaging in conflict is futile, and that walking away from certain situations is a sign of strength, not weakness. Emotional maturity allows you to navigate difficult conversations with respect, dignity, and composure. It teaches you to rise above petty arguments and to focus on what truly contributes to your personal growth and happiness. By choosing battles that align with your values and long-term goals, you maintain your emotional stability and foster more meaningful and harmonious connections with others. Lastly, there is power in knowing when to forgive and move on. Some battles are not worth fighting because they are rooted in misunderstandings, pride, or past grievances that have no place in the present. In these cases, choosing not to fight is an act of grace and maturity. It allows you to free yourself from the burden of resentment and to move forward with a sense of peace. Sometimes the wisest decision is to let go of the need to be right and to focus on healing, growth, and personal well-being. In conclusion, wisdom in choosing your battles is about understanding the bigger picture. It requires self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and a deep understanding of your own values, goals, and priorities. It is about recognizing that not every conflict is worth your time and energy, and that some battles are best left unfought. By choosing wisely, you preserve your peace, protect your emotional health, and focus on what truly matters in life. It is not about avoiding conflict, but about knowing when to engage and when to walk away, all in the pursuit of a life filled with peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Discernment is one of the most essential qualities a person can develop. It is the ability to make sound judgments, to perceive beyond the surface, and to understand the true nature of situations, people, and opportunities. Discernment involves not just seeing with your eyes, but also understanding with your heart and mind. It's about having the wisdom to distinguish between what is true and false, what is beneficial and harmful, and what is right and wrong. This quality is crucial because without discernment, we can easily be misled, make poor decisions, and waste precious time and resources on things that do not align with our best interests. The importance of discernment lies in its power to guide us through life's complexities. Life is full of choices, and not all choices are clear-cut. Many times the options available to us may appear similar on the surface, but they lead in vastly different directions. In these situations, discernment helps us navigate the fog of uncertainty and make decisions that align with our long-term goals, values, and well-being. Without discernment, we may find ourselves making decisions based on impulse, emotion, or external pressures, leading to regret and dissatisfaction. Discernment empowers us to take a step back, analyze the situation, and choose the path that is truly in our best interest. Discernment also helps protect us from deception. In a world where manipulation, misinformation, and falsehoods are rampant, having the ability to see beyond the surface and evaluate the intentions of others is critical. People may present themselves in a way that seems appealing or convincing, but without discernment, we may fall prey to their hidden motives. Whether it's in relationships, business deals, or everyday interactions, discernment allows us to read between the lines and detect when something doesn't quite feel right. This protective quality enables us to avoid toxic people, bad investments, and risky situations that could potentially harm us in the long run. Moreover, discernment is essential for personal growth and development. The ability to discern what is right for you, what you need to learn, and what you should let go of is fundamental to your journey toward becoming your best self. It helps you identify opportunities for growth and change while also enabling you to recognize when it is time to walk away from things that no longer serve you. Discernment allows you to prioritize what truly matters and focus your energy on areas of your life that will contribute to your success and happiness. Without discernment, we may invest too much time and energy in things that do not help us grow, leaving us stuck in patterns that prevent us from reaching our full potential. In relationships, discernment plays a pivotal role in building trust and understanding. It allows us to see people for who they truly are, rather than who they present themselves to be. Through discernment, we are able to understand the underlying dynamics of a relationship, recognizing when someone is genuinely supportive and when someone is taking advantage of our kindness or trust. It helps us to know when to forgive, when to set boundaries, and when it is time to let go. Discernment in relationships ensures that we invest our time and emotional energy in people who add value to our lives and support our growth, rather than those who drain or manipulate us. Additionally, discernment is critical in understanding the difference between short-term satisfaction and long-term fulfillment. In a world that is often driven by instant gratification, it can be easy to make choices based on immediate desires without considering the long-term impact. Discernment helps us to pause and think about the consequences of our actions, to recognize when something is merely a temporary fix and when it is something that will contribute to lasting peace, happiness, and success. It allows us to make decisions that not only satisfy our immediate needs, but also nurture our long-term well-being and growth. Another important aspect of discernment is its role in emotional intelligence. It allows us to perceive and understand our own emotions as well as the emotions of others. This awareness helps us make more thoughtful decisions, respond with empathy, and avoid impulsive reactions that may cause harm to ourselves or others. Discernment helps us to navigate complex emotional situations, whether it's knowing when to speak up or when to remain silent, when to confront an issue or when to let it go. It empowers us to act in ways that preserve harmony while staying true to ourselves and our values. The importance of discernment also extends to our ability to handle challenges and adversity. When faced with difficult situations, discernment helps us determine the best course of action. It provides us with the clarity to see the bigger picture and to respond to challenges with patience, wisdom, and perspective. Rather than reacting in frustration or anger, we can use discernment to assess the situation, consider all possible outcomes, and choose the most constructive approach. This allows us to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity, making decisions that move us forward rather than escalating the situation. In a world full of distractions, discernment also helps us to focus on what truly matters. It allows us to filter out the noise and stay grounded in our purpose. With so many competing priorities and influences in our lives, it'd be easy to become overwhelmed or lose sight of what is important. Discernment helps us prioritize, setting clear boundaries around what we give our time, attention, and energy to. It helps us make decisions based on our values and long-term objectives rather than being swayed by external pressures or momentary desires. In this way, discernment not only improves the quality of our decisions, but also enhances our overall quality of life. In conclusion, discernment is not just a useful skill, it is a critical life tool that can profoundly impact every area of our lives. It guides our decisions, protects us from harm, promotes our growth, and fosters healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Through discernment, we can navigate the complexities of life with clarity and confidence, making choices that align with our highest values and long-term well-being. Cultivating discernment is an ongoing process, but as we develop it, we become better equipped to handle whatever life presents, making decisions that lead us toward greater peace, success, and fulfillment. Focusing on your purpose is one of the most empowering and transformative practices you can commit to in life. Purpose is the driving force behind everything you do, a guiding light that provides direction, meaning, and clarity in your actions. When you align your life with your purpose, you step into a higher level of focus, motivation, and resilience. The power of purpose is undeniable because it allows you to channel your energy into something meaningful, something that resonates with your core values and beliefs. Without purpose, life can feel like an aimless journey, and the challenges you face along the way may feel overwhelming. But when you are driven by a clear sense of purpose, obstacles become stepping stones, and every effort you make is infused with intention and significance. The first step to focusing on your purpose is discovering what truly matters to you. Many people spend their lives pursuing goals that are influenced by external pressures, expectations from family, society, or peers, rather than by their own inner desires. True purpose, however, comes from within. It requires deep reflection and self-awareness. It's about asking yourself what excites you, what motivates you, and what gives your life meaning. When you tap into your purpose, you are not simply living for the approval of others or chasing after superficial success, but instead you are embracing a path that feels authentic and fulfilling. Once you have identified your purpose, the next step is to commit to it wholeheartedly. Focusing on your purpose means making it the central focus of your life, guiding your decisions, actions, and relationships. It means being intentional about where you invest your time and energy. This focus requires discipline and sometimes sacrifices, as there will always be distractions, temptations, and alternatives that pull you away from your purpose. However, the key is to remain unwavering in your commitment to your purpose, even when the journey becomes challenging or when you encounter setbacks. With a strong sense of purpose, you develop the resilience needed to keep moving forward, regardless of the obstacles that may arise. Focusing on your purpose also requires the courage to say no to things that do not align with your vision. In life, we are constantly faced with choices, and many of them are appealing in the moment. However, not every opportunity is right for us, and not every path leads us closer to our purpose. The ability to recognize when something or someone does not align with your purpose and to say no is a powerful skill. Saying no is not about being selfish, it is about protecting your time and energy for the things that truly matter. By saying no to distractions, you create space for the pursuits and relationships that are in harmony with your purpose, allowing you to grow and evolve in alignment with your true calling. Another critical aspect of focusing on your purpose is being patient and persistent. The road to fulfilling your purpose is rarely straightforward. It is often filled with twists and turns, ups and downs. There may be moments of doubt, frustration, or confusion along the way. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that your purpose becomes your anchor. It reminds you of why you started and gives you the strength to keep going, even when progress seems slow or results are not immediately apparent. The process of fulfilling your purpose may take time, but every step you take, every decision you make in alignment with your purpose brings you closer to the life you are meant to live. Trust the journey and be persistent in your pursuit of what truly matters. Staying focused on your purpose also involves developing the right mindset. A mindset of growth and possibility allows you to overcome challenges and adapt to new circumstances. When you are focused on your purpose, setbacks are seen as lessons rather than failures. Each difficulty you encounter is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become better equipped for the next step in your journey. This mindset transforms the way you approach obstacles, making it easier to stay motivated and driven by the bigger picture, even in times of adversity. It is this mindset that fuels your determination and gives you the courage to keep going when others might give up. Focusing on your purpose requires you to be intentional about the people and environments you surround yourself with. The company you keep has a profound impact on your ability to stay focused on your purpose. When you surround yourself with like-minded individuals who support and encourage your journey, you create an environment that nurtures your growth and success. Conversely, being around negative or unsupportive people can distract you from your purpose, filling your mind with doubt and uncertainty. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be the best version of yourself. They will help you stay grounded in your purpose and provide the encouragement you need when the journey becomes difficult. In addition to external support, focusing on your purpose also means nurturing your inner strength. Your purpose will often require you to step outside your comfort zone, take risks, and confront your fears. It requires a strong sense of self-belief, resilience, and confidence in your abilities. When you focus on your purpose, you must believe in yourself and trust that you have the strength and capability to overcome whatever challenges come your way. This belief in yourself, coupled with your unwavering commitment to your purpose, will help you move forward with clarity and confidence. At times, focusing on your purpose will also involve moments of solitude and reflection. It is in these quiet moments that you can reconnect with your inner vision, assess your progress, and recalibrate if needed. The noise of the world can often cloud our judgment and distract us from our true path. Taking time to reflect allows you to clear your mind, realign your focus, and ensure that you are still moving in the direction of your purpose. This period of introspection is not just about looking back, but also about looking forward, ensuring that each step you take is aligned with your long-term vision. Ultimately, focusing on your purpose is about living a life of intention, clarity, and meaning. It is about making conscious choices every day that move you closer to the person you are meant to become and the life you are meant to live. It's about not allowing external pressures, distractions, or the fear of failure to deter you from your path. When you remain focused on your purpose, you cultivate a life that is not only successful by external standards, but deeply fulfilling on a personal level. A life driven by purpose has depth, meaning, and a sense of contribution to the world. It is a life where you feel truly alive, connected to your highest potential, and aligned with your deepest values. Guarding your time is one of the most important practices you can adopt in a world that is constantly pulling at your attention. Time is the one resource that is truly finite. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. Unlike money or material possessions which can be regained, time is lost forever the moment it passes. That is why guarding your time is not just a matter of efficiency or productivity, it's a matter of valuing your life, your goals, and your relationships. How you spend your time determines the quality of your life, the progress you make toward your dreams, and the fulfillment you experience on a daily basis. To truly guard your time, you must first recognize its value. Many people go through life without realizing how precious each moment is. We often allow the demands of others, distractions, and societal pressures to dictate how we spend our time. It is easy to fall into the trap of reacting to life rather than being proactive in how we allocate our time. But when you understand the true value of time, you begin to approach it with intention. You start making conscious decisions about how you spend it, recognizing that every moment is an opportunity to invest in something meaningful or to move closer to your goals. One of the most important ways to guard your time is by setting clear priorities. When you don't have a clear sense of what matters most to you, you will easily be swept up by the urgent demands of others or distracted by less important activities. Without clear priorities, your time gets scattered and drained, leaving you feeling overwhelmed and unfulfilled. But when you know what truly matters, you can allocate your time to the things that align with your deepest values and long-term objectives. This means being intentional about how you structure your days, ensuring that you are dedicating time to activities that bring you closer to your goals and enrich your life. Setting boundaries is another crucial aspect of guarding your time. In our interconnected world, it is easy for others to demand your attention at any given moment. Whether it's through phone calls, emails, social media, or even in-person interactions, there are constant requests for your time. While it is important to be kind and helpful, it is equally important to protect your time and energy. Learning how to say no is an essential skill in this process. Saying no does not mean being rude or selfish. It means you are respecting your own needs and protecting your ability to focus on what truly matters. Establishing clear boundaries with others allows you to maintain control over your time and prevents others from hijacking it. Managing distractions is also a key part of guarding your time. Distractions, whether external or internal, can easily pull you away from your priorities and goals. In a world filled with constant noise from notifications to the demands of work and family, staying focused can feel like a monumental challenge. However, by identifying what distracts you and taking active steps to reduce or eliminate those distractions, you can safeguard your time. This might mean setting aside specific times for checking emails or social media, creating a dedicated workspace, or practicing mindfulness techniques to stay present in the moment. Reducing distractions allows you to be more productive and intentional with your time, ultimately giving you more space to focus on what truly matters. Another important aspect of guarding your time is avoiding time-wasting activities. There are many things we do in life that may seem harmless, but ultimately waste our time. Watching excessive amounts of television, mindlessly scrolling through social media, or engaging in gossip can all drain our time without adding any real value to our lives. While it's important to relax and unwind, it's equally important to be mindful of how much time we spend on activities that do not contribute to our well-being or personal growth. By being conscious of how we spend our time and making a habit of eliminating time-wasting activities, we can reclaim hours each week that can be spent on more meaningful pursuits. In addition to guarding against distractions and time-wasting activities, it is also important to guard your time by prioritizing self-care. Many people become so focused on work responsibilities and others' needs that they neglect their own well-being. However, neglecting yourself is a surefire way to burn out and lose focus. Taking time for rest, exercise, reflection, and activities that nourish your mind and body is essential for maintaining the energy and focus needed to accomplish your goals. When you make self-care a priority, you ensure that you have the mental, physical, and emotional resources necessary to use your time wisely and effectively. Time management tools can also play a crucial role in guarding your time. Using tools such as calendars, to-do lists, and reminders can help you stay organized and ensure that you are staying on track with your priorities. Planning your day, week, and month allows you to see where your time is being spent and helps you make adjustments when necessary. It also helps you break down larger projects into smaller, more manageable tasks, making it easier to stay focused and motivated. By using these tools, you can maintain a clear sense of direction and purpose, reducing the chances of your time slipping away unnoticed. Guarding your time also means being aware of how others influence it. Some people can be time drains, constantly asking for favors, seeking attention, or creating unnecessary drama. While it's important to be compassionate and supportive, it is also crucial to recognize when someone is taking more of your time than is healthy or necessary. By identifying these time-draining relationships and setting appropriate boundaries, you can preserve your energy and focus on more meaningful connections. Protecting your time is not just about saying no to activities, it's also about choosing the right people to invest your time and energy in. Ultimately, guarding your time is about being intentional, mindful, and disciplined in how you choose to spend your days. It is about creating a life where your time is invested in things that bring you fulfillment, growth, and purpose, rather than in fleeting distractions or unimportant obligations. When you guard your time, you take control of your life and ensure that you are living in alignment with your deepest values and goals. By making time for the things that truly matter, you create a life that is not only successful in external terms, but also deeply satisfying and meaningful on a personal level. Setting boundaries is a powerful form of self-respect, yet it is often misunderstood or overlooked in today's fast-paced world. Many people struggle with the idea of setting boundaries because they fear it will make them appear selfish or unkind. However, the truth is that boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships, protecting your emotional well-being, and ensuring that you live in alignment with your values. When you set boundaries, you are not just protecting your time and energy, you are also affirming your worth and demonstrating to others that you value yourself. Self-respect begins with understanding and acknowledging your own needs, limitations, and desires. When you are clear about what you require to feel safe, comfortable, and respected, you can communicate those needs effectively to others. Setting boundaries is an act of self-awareness, as it requires you to reflect on your feelings, recognize when something is not serving your best interest, and take the necessary steps to protect your emotional and physical space. This process is deeply rooted in self-love and the understanding that you are worthy of being treated with dignity and care. Setting boundaries is also about reclaiming your personal power. Often we allow others to dictate how we spend our time, how much we give, or how we respond to their needs. This can lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, or exhaustion as we are giving more than we are capable of or willing to give. By setting clear boundaries, you take control of your life and assert that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable. Boundaries empower you to say no when necessary, to ask for what you need, and to step away from situations or relationships that drain or harm you. It's about recognizing that you have the right to protect your peace and prioritize your own well-being without feeling guilty or apologetic. Another important aspect of boundaries is their role in fostering mutual respect in relationships. Healthy relationships are built on a foundation of understanding, empathy, and respect. When you set boundaries, you are showing others how to treat you. You are teaching them what is acceptable and what is not. And in turn, you are encouraging them to respect their own needs and boundaries as well. Boundaries create a space where both parties can thrive without feeling overburdened or exploited. They help maintain balance, allowing relationships to be supportive and nurturing rather than draining or harmful. By setting and respecting boundaries, you cultivate relationships that are mutually beneficial and based on respect for each other's needs and limits. Setting boundaries also involves understanding the importance of saying no. Many people struggle with the concept of saying no because they fear rejection, conflict, or disappointing others. However, saying no is one of the most powerful tools for protecting your time, energy, and emotional well-being. When you say no, you are not rejecting the person, you are simply acknowledging that you have your own needs and priorities that must be respected. Saying no is an expression of self-respect because it signals that you will not sacrifice your own happiness, health, or peace for the sake of others' demands or expectations. It's a necessary skill that helps you maintain balance in your life and ensures that you are not overcommitting to things that do not align with your goals or values. Another aspect of boundaries as self-respect is recognizing your emotional and mental limits. In relationships, whether personal or professional, it's easy to be pulled into emotional dynamics that are draining or toxic. Setting emotional boundaries means acknowledging when someone's behavior or words are affecting your peace or sense of self-worth and taking steps to protect your emotional state. It involves recognizing when you need to distance yourself from negative or harmful influences and choosing not to engage in situations that compromise your emotional well-being. Emotional boundaries help you avoid becoming overwhelmed, stressed, or burned out by external pressures, allowing you to maintain a sense of stability and control over your own emotions. Physical boundaries are equally important as they protect your body and personal space. Whether it's in terms of how close others can get to you physically or how much physical labor you are willing to take on. Setting physical boundaries is an essential way to respect your own body and health. Many people neglect their physical boundaries in an attempt to be accommodating or helpful. But this often leads to fatigue, illness, or resentment. By setting clear physical boundaries, you communicate to others that your body deserves to be treated with care and respect. This might involve declining invitations to events that will leave you feeling drained, choosing to rest when you are tired, or simply asserting that you are not available to help at that moment. Setting boundaries also allows for personal growth and development. When you establish limits with others, you create space for yourself to explore your passions, invest in your personal goals, and focus on your self-improvement. Without boundaries, it is easy to lose sight of your own aspirations because you are constantly responding to the needs and expectations of others. By setting boundaries, you protect your time and energy, which allows you to focus on the activities and pursuits that contribute to your growth, happiness, and success. It's about finding the balance between being there for others and being there for yourself. Moreover, when you set boundaries, you also teach others how to respect their own limits. It can be difficult for others to establish boundaries if they have never seen it modeled or encouraged. By setting your own boundaries, you demonstrate to those around you that it is okay to say no, to protect your time and energy, and to prioritize your own well-being. In this way, you are not just benefiting yourself, you are helping others develop the confidence to respect their own needs and boundaries. Setting boundaries as a form of self-respect also involves acknowledging that you are not responsible for the feelings or actions of others. Many people take on the emotional weight of others by feeling responsible for their happiness, comfort, or well-being. This can create unhealthy dynamics where you are constantly putting others before yourself, leaving you depleted and resentful. By setting boundaries, you allow others to take responsibility for their own emotions and actions, and you free yourself from the burden of trying to fix, please, or save everyone around you. Boundaries help you maintain a healthy sense of autonomy and personal responsibility, ensuring that you do not lose yourself in the process of caring for others. Finally, setting boundaries as a form of self-respect is a continuous process. As you evolve and grow, your boundaries may shift to reflect your changing needs, values, and goals. What felt acceptable in the past may no longer be tolerable as you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your desires. It's important to be flexible and adjust your boundaries when necessary, while still honoring your needs and self-worth. The act of setting and maintaining boundaries is an ongoing practice of self-awareness, self-care, and self-love, and it is an essential part of living a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and respectful of your own needs and desires. In conclusion, setting boundaries is not just a practice, it's an essential act of self-respect. It's a declaration that you are worthy of time, energy, and emotional investment. It's about recognizing your own value and refusing to let the demands of others overshadow your well-being. Boundaries protect your peace, foster healthy relationships, and ensure that you remain aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. When you set boundaries, you are not only safeguarding your personal space and energy, but you are also teaching others how to treat you and inspiring them to protect their own boundaries as well. Remember, setting boundaries is not about pushing people away. It's about creating a space where respect, understanding, and mutual growth can thrive. It is about having the courage to say no when necessary, to honor your needs, and to walk in alignment with your purpose. You deserve to live a life where your time, energy, and emotions are treated with the respect they deserve. Protect your peace, safeguard your worth, and never apologize for doing what is best for you. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to show up for yourself and the life you are meant to create.